Hey folks, welcome back to the Stoic Journey. Have you ever noticed that sinking feeling when someone you care about starts to pull away? As if the connection that once felt unbreakable is now slipping away, like water slipping through your fingers, or like watching a fire that once burned bright slowly turn to embers flickering on the verge of going out, no matter how desperately you try to hold on. What if, in that moment of despair, you could reverse it, reignite that flame, and make them realize just how much they need you? What if you could stand tall, unshaken by their distance, and draw them back with a force they can't resist? Imagine the power of not chasing, not pleading, but instead becoming the person they can't stop thinking about, the one they can't bear to lose. Today, we're diving into the Stoic strategies that will help you do just that. This isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about embracing your own strength, stepping back with confidence, and letting them feel the weight of your absence. As our wise friend Marcus Aurelius once reflected, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By changing your mindset, you can change the entire dynamic of your relationship. Picture this. Instead of letting their distance create doubt, you use it as an opportunity to reinforce your self-worth, to grow stronger, and to become even more magnetic. This is your moment to turn the tide, to show them that you're not just someone to take for granted. You're someone they need, someone they'll regret losing. But before we dive into these powerful strategies, I want to challenge you to take the first step right now. If you're ready to embrace your inner strength and turn this situation around, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I will bring them back." This isn't just a statement. It's a declaration that you're reclaiming your power and stepping into your true self. Let's see how many of you are ready to rise to this challenge and become the Stoic force they can't ignore. Ready, Stoic friends? Let's go. Before we dive into those 10 powerful Stoicism-inspired actions that will reignite the fire in their heart, I need to set something straight. This part is crucial, folks, so I want you to stay focused. Please don't skip this. When we talk about bringing someone back, this is where things can get tricky. Let's be honest, this doesn't exactly align with pure Stoic philosophy. But before you lose hope, let me assure you, that doesn't mean we won't achieve our goal. It just means we need to approach this with the right mindset, the Stoic mindset. Now let me define what Stoicism truly represents in this situation. Stoicism isn't about manipulating someone to return or forcing an outcome. It's about self-mastery, controlling what's within your power and letting go of what isn't. It's about focusing on your own growth, your own resilience, and becoming the best version of yourself. But here's the key. When you genuinely let go of the need to control their actions and instead focus on becoming the person you were meant to be, something remarkable happens. They will feel that shift. They will sense the change in you, the strength, the calmness, and it will draw them back naturally, without any need for games or manipulation. So if Stoicism tells us to focus on our own journey, to cultivate inner peace, and to remain indifferent to things beyond our control, how does that help us bring them back? How do we reconcile this with our goal? Well, Stoic friends, this is where I want you to pay close attention. When you embody these principles, truly embracing your own growth and inner strength, they will inevitably notice. The change in you will be undeniable. And it's that shift, that newfound resilience, that will naturally draw them back to you. Principle number 1. Become unpredictable. Now I know what you're thinking. Why is unpredictability so important? When someone's pulling away, shouldn't you be showing them consistency and stability to bring them back? Here's the thing. When you become too predictable, you also become too easy to read. And when someone can predict your every move, they begin to take you for granted. The allure, the mystery, the excitement, they all start to fade away. That's why becoming unpredictable isn't just a tactic, it's a game changer. Unpredictability doesn't mean you start acting erratically or playing mind games. Let's be clear about that. It's about keeping them on their toes, ensuring that they don't feel like they have you all figured out. When they can't predict your next move, you become intriguing, someone they can't easily dismiss or take for granted. And let me tell you folks, there's something incredibly powerful about being a little bit of a mystery. Principle number 2, always stand for yourself. If someone is pulling away, the absolute worst thing you can do is start bending over backward and allowing them to treat you like a doormat. Stoicism isn't about chasing someone who doesn't value you. It's about standing firm in your own worth. When you stand up for yourself, you send a clear message. I'm not here to be used, manipulated, or taken for granted. It's about showing that you value yourself enough not to tolerate being treated as an afterthought. This shift in dynamic can make them realize that losing you is not something they can afford. Stay tuned as we dive into the remaining principles that will help you reclaim your power and set the foundation for a stronger, more resilient relationship. Remember, this is not about changing them, it's about changing you. Yes, it might feel risky. It might seem like you're pushing them further away by not caving to their demands or chasing after them. But let me tell you the alternative. Becoming a puppet at their mercy will only lead to greater distance and eventually the end of the relationship. By flipping the script, you're giving them a reason to stop and reconsider, to realize that losing you isn't something they can take lightly. In the end, standing up for yourself isn't just about saving your dignity. It's about reclaiming your power and showing them that you're not someone who can be easily dismissed. It's about making them understand that you're worth fighting for, and that if they want to be in your life, they'll have to earn it. According to Stoicism, the one who stands for themselves naturally becomes more attractive. Why? Because true attractiveness isn't about superficial charm or trying to win someone over. It's about embodying strength, integrity, and self-respect. When you stand up for yourself, you're not just defending your dignity, you're exuding a quiet confidence that others can't help but notice. It's this inner strength, this unwavering sense of self-worth that makes you magnetic. People are drawn to those who know their value and refuse to settle for anything less. It's a powerful force that can shift the dynamics of any relationship, making you the one they can't afford to lose. So folks, if you're ready to stand tall and reclaim your power, it is time to affirm once again, I will bring them back. This is your declaration, your commitment to embodying the strength that will naturally draw them back into your orbit. Let's show them that you're not just anyone, you're someone worth standing for. Number 3, don't be desperate. Let's talk about the third principle. Don't be desperate. Now this one is crucial, folks, especially when you're feeling like things are slipping through your fingers. It's natural to feel a sense of panic when someone you care about starts to pull away. But desperation is the absolute last thing you want to show. Desperation is like a repellent. It pushes people away rather than drawing them in. When you're desperate, you're essentially telling the other person that your worth is dependent on their presence in your life. You're signaling that you need them more than they need you, and that imbalance creates a dynamic where they feel like they're in control. And let's be honest, nobody finds desperation attractive. It comes off as needy, clingy, and ultimately shows a lack of self-respect. Think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where someone was overly desperate for your attention? Maybe they were constantly texting, calling, or trying too hard to get you to notice them. How did it make you feel? Chances are it made you feel overwhelmed and possibly even annoyed. The same goes for the person you're trying to win back. If you're constantly bombarding them with attention, trying to prove your worth, or pleading for them to stay, it's going to have the opposite effect. Instead, take a step back and breathe. Desperation is often driven by fear, the fear of losing them, the fear of being alone, or the fear of not being good enough. But here's the thing. When you let fear dictate your actions, you lose your power. You become reactive instead of proactive, and that's a surefire way to push them further away. So, what should you do instead? Show them that you're confident in your own value. Don't chase after them or try to force things to work. Instead, focus on yourself and your own growth. When you stop acting out of desperation and start acting out of self-respect, something powerful happens. You start to regain control of the situation, and more importantly, you regain control of your own emotions. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is exactly what you need to remember when you're tempted to act out of desperation. You can't control how the other person feels or what they do, but you can control how you respond. By choosing to remain calm, collected, and confident, you're showing them that you're not dependent on their validation for your happiness. And that, my friends, is incredibly attractive. Imagine this. Instead of bombarding them with messages or trying to convince them to stay, you simply let them be. You focus on living your life, pursuing your passions, and being the best version of yourself. You're not ignoring them, but you're not chasing them either. This approach creates a sense of mystery and intrigue. They start to wonder why you're not acting the way they expected, why you're not desperate to keep them. And in that wondering, they might just start to realize your worth. So, if you find yourself on the edge, feeling like you're about to lose them, remember this principle. Don't be desperate. Stand firm in your own value and trust that if it's meant to be, it will be. Desperation only weakens your position, but confidence, self-respect, and patience, those are the qualities that will draw them back in and make them see you in a whole new light. Number 4, look and smell. Good. Let's talk about the next principle. Look and smell good. Now, I know this might sound superficial at first glance, but let's not underestimate the power of physical appearance and presence. How you look, and yes, how you smell, plays a significant role in how others perceive you, especially when you're trying to rekindle a connection that's fading. It's not just about vanity. It's about sending a message that you take care of yourself, that you value yourself enough to present the best version of you to the world. When someone is pulling away, the way you present yourself can make all the difference. Think about it. When you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, that confidence radiates outwards. Confidence is magnetic, and it draws people in. It's about showing them that you're not falling apart just because they're distancing themselves. Instead, you're thriving, looking better than ever, and making them wonder why they ever started pulling away in the first place. Imagine running into them after they've been distant. They're expecting to see the same old you, maybe even someone who looks a little worn down by the situation. But instead, they're met with someone who's glowing, someone who's clearly been taking care of themselves. You're dressed sharply, your hair is on point, and that new fragrance you're wearing, it's impossible to ignore. Suddenly, they're not just looking at you, they're noticing you. They're reminded of what they're missing out on. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." When you take the time to look and smell good, you're not just enhancing your external appearance. You're cultivating a mindset of self-respect and self-care. You're telling yourself and everyone around you that you're worth the effort. Now, I'm not saying you need to be dressed to the nines every single day, or that you need to douse yourself in cologne. It's about the small things. Making sure you're well-groomed, picking out outfits that make you feel confident, and wearing a fragrance that leaves a subtle yet memorable impression. These details might seem minor, but they add up to create a powerful impact. And here's a bit of humor for you. If you've ever caught a whiff of a bad smell, you know how quickly it can make you want to run in the opposite direction. On the flip side, a good fragrance can draw someone in almost like a magnet. So why not give yourself that little edge? Smelling good isn't just pleasant, it's a tool of attraction. In the end, looking and smelling good isn't about trying to be someone you're not. It's about enhancing who you already are and showing that you're someone who values themselves. It's about making sure that when they see you, they see someone who's thriving, someone who's confident and comfortable in their own skin. And trust me, that's hard to resist. So, if you're ready to step up your game and make them take notice, start with the basics. Look good, smell good, and feel even better. It's a small but powerful way to remind them of what they're missing, and to remind yourself that you're worth every bit of the effort. Number 5. Be ambitious. So folks, let's jump into the 5th principle. Be ambitious. Now you might be wondering, how does ambition tie into saving a relationship? Isn't ambition more about personal goals, career, or success? Well, here's the thing. Ambition is about much more than just professional achievements. It's about having a drive, a vision for your life that goes beyond the ordinary. And trust me, ambition is incredibly attractive. It's one of those qualities that can truly pull someone back when they're starting to drift away. When someone sees that you're ambitious, it sends a clear message. You're not just coasting through life. You have goals, dreams, and the determination to achieve them. This kind of energy is contagious and magnetic. It shows that you're a person of substance, someone who's constantly striving to improve, to grow, and to make something meaningful out of life. And let's be honest, who wouldn't be drawn to that? Imagine this. You're in a relationship, and things have started to feel a bit stagnant. Maybe they're pulling away, not because they don't care, but because they've lost that sense of excitement or admiration for you. But then they see you taking charge of your life, pursuing your passions, setting goals, and making strides toward them. Suddenly, you're not just the person they've grown comfortable with. You're someone who's on a path to greatness. Someone who's not content with mediocrity. This sparks something in them, a sense of respect, admiration, and even a little bit of that initial attraction that drew them to you in the first place. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This applies directly to ambition. Instead of talking about what you want to do or who you want to be, show them through your actions. Let your ambition be the proof that you're not just dreaming, you're doing. This doesn't mean you have to be out there conquering the world in a day, but it does mean that you're actively working towards something meaningful. And here's where it gets even better. Ambition isn't just attractive, it's inspiring. When they see you pushing yourself, striving for more, It might just reignite something within them too. It can motivate them to look at their own life and think about what they want to achieve. In a way, your ambition can be the catalyst for their own growth, which can bring you closer together. Now, some might worry that ambition can create distance, that focusing on your own goals could pull you away from your partner. But the reality is, when done right, ambition can actually strengthen a relationship. It shows that you're not dependent on them for your happiness or fulfillment. You're creating it yourself. And that kind of independence, paired with the drive to achieve your dreams, is what makes you irresistible. How does being ambitious help in bringing them back? It shifts the focus. Instead of them seeing you as someone who's trying to hold on too tightly, they see you as someone who's driven, passionate, and living a life with purpose. It changes the narrative from, "I need you," to, "I'm building something great, and I want you to be a part of it." That's a powerful shift that can turn the tide in your favor. Number 6, communicate with purpose. When someone is pulling away, communication can feel like walking on a tightrope. You want to reach out, but you don't want to seem desperate. You want to express how you feel, but you don't want to push them further away. This is where purposeful communication comes into play. It's about making every word count and ensuring that what you say actually strengthens the connection rather than weakens it. When you communicate with purpose, you're not just talking for the sake of talking. You're speaking with intention, clarity, and confidence. It's about choosing your words carefully, expressing what truly matters, and avoiding the traps of over-explaining, begging, or trying to justify yourself. Imagine this. Your partner has been distant, and you're tempted to send a long, emotional text pouring out your feelings. But instead of flooding them with everything you're thinking and feeling, you take a step back. You ask yourself, what do I really want to convey here? What's the most important thing I need them to understand? Then you send a concise, clear message that gets straight to the point, such as, "I've noticed you've been distant lately. I care about you and want to understand what's going on. When you're ready to talk, I'm here." This shows that you're aware, you're concerned, but you're also respectful of their space. Purposeful communication also means knowing when to speak and when to listen. It's about not filling the silence with nervous chatter, but instead allowing them the space to respond, share their side, and be heard. Number 7, be less available. Now, this one might seem counterintuitive. You're trying to bring someone back, so shouldn't you be more available, not less? But here's the reality. When you're always available, you become too easy, too predictable, and sometimes too easy to take for granted. Being less available isn't about playing hard to get. It's about reclaiming your time, energy, and sense of self-worth. Number 8, smile often. You might wonder, how can something as simple as smiling make a difference? But a smile is far more powerful than it seems. It's not just about looking happy or approachable. It's about radiating confidence, positivity, and resilience, even when things feel uncertain. When you smile, you're sending a message that you're in control of your emotions, and you're not letting the situation get the best of you. Number 9, self-assurance. When someone is pulling away, it's easy to let doubt creep in. Self-assurance, however, is about standing firm in who you are, regardless of the situation. Number 10, be ready to let go. This might sound counterintuitive, but being ready to let go is about reclaiming your power. It's about knowing your worth and not holding on to someone who isn't willing to meet you halfway. These principles aren't just about bringing someone back. They're about reclaiming your power, confidence, and self-worth. Apply them in your life, and watch the dynamics shift in your favor. Stay strong, stay stoic, and always remember, you are worth more than you know. I'll see you in the next video.